Welcome back everyone to Welstopia, and today we are starting out at my spider farm because I want to give a shout out to Obscurum. Obscurum took care of a little problem I was having with too many spiders coming up because apparently there was a place in there where they were getting stuck. I don't know if that was a problem with the farm or how I implemented it. But either way, he found out what was wrong and took care of it. So now the spiders are dying as fast as they come in, and he's improved the efficiency in there, so it's coming in pretty quickly now. When I first started this thing, I was getting about 3.5 stacks per hour. Now it's about 5.5 stacks. So it's greatly improved in its efficiency. But today we are going to be heading over to Oakland. We are back. It might not be much, but it'll at least work for its intended purpose, and that is to be a place for me to AFK and to fish at the same time. And here's the complete fishing farm inside with a nice roof on my head, and I should be protected here because I've got a door and a gate and half a river. So that should help to keep the mobs from getting to me while I'm out here fishing. So I think this is a successful build. Now, concerning 1.11 and this fishing farm, after seeing a video by Mumbo Jumbo, I figured out how to modify this so that it will work for 1.11. But that modification would break it for 1.10, so therefore I'm not going to do that update until 1.11 comes out. So that'll be one of the first things I do when we get 1.11. Now I created a video in a 1.11 world where I give a little tutorial in building the fishing farm for 1.11. So if you're interested in seeing what change I am making to it, you could see it there. Now, next thing I want to do is to return down here over to the pumpkin melon farm. And I just want to show you that I decided to finally take a look at what's happening in relation to the feathers here. I decided to dump the feathers and replace it with eggs because I was just getting way too many eggs. I had gotten a 5th double chest full of those things, and it was just coming to a ridiculous level, so I thought the only thing I could do is just use that as my piece to go in there. So that's the reason why I used a dropper in any case, because I was considering using eggs, because if I had used a dispenser instead of a dropper, instead of getting eggs that eventually despawn, I would have had a chance of getting chickens instead, which would not have helped in the slightest. So I think it is time to check out things and see how the village is going. By village, I meant NPC village, which is Spruce, Sylvania. And as you can see, the population has grown immensely over the last few episodes. In fact, it's getting to be a little bit too high. What I had done is I had built this little thing here and placed doors all over there, put hedges in there so it wouldn't be too obvious. And boy, did the population boom after that. Now the trouble is that I can't tell which villager is which. For example, this one, 39 rotten flesh. Not a very good trade there, and a 2 glowstone trade. I was using this cleric quite a bit for the 2 glowstone trade before I found one that has 3. But now I want to be able to get the villager I want quickly, which means being able to identify them. Now, you see here we have the border of the township, which goes right through Spruce, Sylvania. So therefore, I want to build my village trader center on this side of the line within the main township. But where? Because the idea is I am going to build a trader center that involves boats. I think that'll be a fairly easy way of handling things, assuming, of course, the villagers cooperate and actually go into the boats. Assuming I can find a place that is actually of a proper size where I can put things. Well, I suppose I could put it inside or perhaps within this gate. Actually, the gate would be a good idea. That way, if we do have zombies or the like. There we go. The villagers could be safe from them if I put them far enough away from the zombies. So let's see what happens if I put down a few of these boats. And just let them over time go into them. Now, I'm figuring that if I put a villager here, for example, zombies will get to them, so I have to find a way in order to get the boat onto here. Oh, okay, that only had to do because of that. Right, and I'm not going to get too many on that way. All right, I'm going to have to find a good place to put this. I was hoping that would make some good, nice, good cells for them. How about in here? Nope. So coming up with the proper location is the real trick. The best spot, of course, seems not to exist. I could maybe use this open area down here, but that's in another township, and I don't feel like having it outside of my official base area. And I don't want to tear down this farm. How about this little place here? Yeah. It's going to require a little bit of terraforming, and of course, I'm going to want to recover all this wonderful podzol here. But it may just work. See, how wide would it be? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still a bit narrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10. Well, it's worth a shot. So let me do some digging and get started. Oh yes, I do need to collect that boat that I left back here because that seed I had in my inventory. I think it's more important to keep my boats than my seeds. I did knock this hill down a bit, and it looks like the net result is that I gave easier access to that farm, and I think it's overall an improvement, but I don't think it helps in my original plan of being a good area in which to build my trading center. So therefore, I am leaving this as I have it now, but I should restore a few path blocks that I had undone in the process, and I think it's a lot more accessible now all throughout the area. So therefore, I think it's an overall win, even if it didn't achieve my main purpose. Now, over here, I also did some terraforming on this little section here, and I brought down this hill to be in line with this farmland here, which I don't think the villagers were getting to all that often. But since then, one of the villagers came in and farmed the area, so therefore, it's becoming a popular spot now. Amazing how the attractive points in the map change as you go along. Alright. So then, if the terraforming worked, but I failed to find a good place, I have since decided to try this area as my villager trading area, and what I should do is follow the pattern here on how I'm doing my buildings. Now I know the villagers don't have the prettiest buildings in Minecraft, but I think it'll be nice to at least follow their architecture when I do this. Now what I want to do is I am going to go for something that is 9 wide if possible, 8 or 9 wide, so I figure I could start here. And that 9 wide includes this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I figure I am going to try this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to go through this 8 by 10 area. Now, of course, right now, let's say not the prettiest place yet, but the idea is I'm going to have cobble on the edges, and then in the middle areas I am going to have doors. I'm going to have the doors over here. And this is going to allow the villagers to come in and out. Now I am probably going to have some fences also to discourage zombies and the like, but that'll have to be a long-term plan. But now what I'm going to do is I am going to fill in the cobble corners, create a roof similar to the one I've got there, get in some spruce. So I think I'm going to have an oak roof rather than a spruce one, so that I at least have some variation, because, yeah, that's even a bit boring for my taste. So I will be back when I've made progress. And here we have it. Maybe I should get a cobble stair step here in order to help with that, but this is our little area that we are going to use and see if we can turn this into a trading center. In order to do that, I am going to need some boats. And I'm going to see whether or not boats are useful for this, at least for a makeshift one, before I do something more formal. And if the boats don't work as a solution for this, I at least think maybe could use the boats to actually transport them to proper cells when I get around to do it. Now the idea there is I'm going to be placing boats in here and seeing if the villagers go into them. Now villagers seem to have a way of going into any place you create, whether you intend them to go there or not. Usually if you don't intend them to go there. So we'll see if this works. Now the idea there is to place a boat there. Boat there. I figured, well, if I wanted every other one, yeah, it probably would have been a good idea if I had made this one wider so that I could have had an odd number. Didn't think about that. Well, this is the type of thing that we are trying to learn here. Alright, now let me get it right. Oh. Oh, this is my inventory. Right. And then we'll take 2 more. And what I'm hoping is that I could attract a couple of the more useful villagers into those locations. And if I do, I can leave them in there. If not, I destroy the boat. Maybe someday a more useful villager can go into there. Yeah, I know. Vain hope. Now, I do have to worry about zombies and the like at some point. Oh, I put the fences away because I was in the middle of doing that. So I will put up a little bit of a fence here. Now obviously I can't do that yet until I have them, but when I do, then I can put a fence in here, then a gate, and that will allow me to control the flow of who enters and leaves the area. Now, of course, I'm going to have to wait some time to see if any villagers actually make their way into there, because I really don't know how good way to do that. Yeah. Right. We have had a little time pass, and it looks like some of the villagers have found the boats. Which cleric is this? Not a particularly good one, I have to admit on that. And this armor, I haven't done anything on that armor. I haven't done with much trading with the ones that require coal for trading. Yeah, that one worked. Yeah, I should get a sign for that one to make a note of any potential ones I have. Alright, we'll get this down here. And alright, let's get some signs. Good. So there's 4. Okay. Chicken trader. So this is that this would be my best one for chicken. I should, instead of a sign, probably use a item thing and just put a chicken on there, and that might be a little bit better. An item frame. Maybe I'll put that under there so I can say that would be it just in case I wanted extra text, and then something very easy to see below that is an item frame so that I don't have too much trouble with that. Actually, how good is this librarian? It's a new librarian. Hey, how would you like one of these nice boats? No? Oh well. Another butcher. Now, this butcher isn't as good as that one. So I'll probably at some point just free that one, let them roll around. I want to first see what they do. Now, one thing I might do is just take this boat and see if I can find some way to get that butcher over to Oakland. Or some other place. Maybe not Oakland because I do have a few doors there. But to some place I might be able to turn into an iron farm or something like that. Well, I can get double! It's double seating here! Alright, that's something to keep in mind also. But unfortunately, if any zombies came around, they would be sitting ducks, so to speak. So I will have to keep that in mind. I'll have to keep that very much in mind. Now, I don't think we'll have too many villagers legitimately going in that area. And well, I'll have to decide what the best plan is for handling that matter. But first we need to get those areas populated, then I could worry about protection. Fortunately, I don't think I had too many trouble with zombies yet, but I do occasionally see them. But I think that's all that we have time for today, and next time maybe I'll get back to Oakland and see what I can build next in my industrial area. But that'll be for our next episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Welstopia.